Nike, the brand that wasn't supposed to exist and became the empire that changed sports forever. This isn't just a story about sneakers, it's a story about risk, chaos, and a stupid idea nobody believed in. It's a story of a company that started from the trunk of a car and became the most influential sports brand on the planet. Get comfortable, grab your tea, hit like on this video right now, subscribe to my YouTube channel Brand Rise, and let's dive in. This is the story of Nike, the birth of an idea no one took seriously. In the early 1960s, Phil Knight was just an ordinary runner from Oregon. No money, no connections, no legacy, just a pair of worn out running shoes and a head full of ideas. But he had a mission: to build the perfect shoe for athletes. At 24, he wrote a business plan that he himself later described as almost ridiculous. Inside, it was one simple, almost funny thought. Funny thought. What if the Japanese can make better sports shoes than the Germans? What if they can push Adidas and Puma into the corner? It was a dream, a gamble, pure hope. And so Knight flew to Japan with nothing but determination, no company, no products, nothing except a dream. And then a miracle happened. The Japanese brand Onitsuka Tiger believed the young American and agreed to give him shoes to sell. That's how Blue Ribbon Sports was born, the ancestor of Nike. Phil Knight began selling shoes from the trunk of his car. Yes, the trunk of a car, after running meets in parking lots on rainy afternoons, sometimes with nothing but a small stack of shoes and a handful of change. Athletes laughed. Shoes from a trunk? Is this a joke? But Knight didn't stop. He had something the skeptics didn't: absolute conviction. The man who changed the game. Bill Bowerman. Without Phil's coach, the legendary track innovator Bill Bowerman, Nike might never have existed. Bowerman was obsessed with improvement. He cut soles apart, melted rubber, tested new molds tirelessly every day. And then one morning he did something completely insane. He poured rubber into his wife's waffle iron. The result, the iconic revolutionary Nike waffle sole. Light, flexible, fast. This simple invention flipped the entire sports shoe market upside down. Bowerman gave athletes an advantage no competitor could match, and that advantage, it was built in a kitchen, on a whim, with curiosity and courage. The betrayal that saved Nike. Blue Ribbon, sports' rising success, made Onitsuka Tiger suspicious. The Japanese company decided to terminate the contract and tried to take the customers for themselves. It was a betrayal, a nightmare for any young company. Phil Knight stood on the edge of collapse. He could lose everything: products, money, clients, dreams, but he said something that changed history. Then we'll create our own brand and we'll be stronger than ever. And thus Nike was born, named after the Greek goddess of victory. The logo, the swoosh, was designed by a college student for $35. Today, it is one of the most recognizable and valuable symbols on earth. A company standing at the edge. Early 1970s, Nike is growing. But the money is running out. Banks refuse loans. Suppliers demand payment. Employees worry. Knight can't sleep. He writes letters, sends samples, travels endlessly, searches for any possible support. And then, once again, fate intervenes. In 1972, Nike gets the chance to appear at the Olympics. Athletes step onto the world stage wearing Nike shoes. Light, comfortable, innovative. The Olympics ignite Nike like a rocket. But the breakthrough that would make Nike #1 in the world is still ahead. The legend that changed sports forever. In 1978, engineer Frank Rudy walked into Nike with an idea that sounded insane. What if we put pressurized air inside the sole of a shoe? At first, Nike laughed, but when they built the first prototypes, they understood immediately. This was a revolution. Nike Air was born. The world only needed one look to realize this was the future of running, basketball, and sports overall. The moment that built an empire, Michael Jordan. Nike was far from the leader. Adidas and Converse dominated basketball. Then appeared a young rising star, Michael Jordan. Nike wanted to sign him, but Jordan didn't want Nike. He dreamed of Adidas. After long talks and gentle pressure from his mother, he agreed to meet with Nike. Nike offered him something no other brand would, a signature shoe line dedicated solely to him. The legendary Air Jordan. When the first model dropped, the NBA banned it. It didn't comply with the league's dress code. Nike said, "Perfect with Lepu, we'll watch." What could have been a disaster became explosive. Viral advertising. Sales skyrocketed. Young people went crazy. Culture changed forever. Air Jordan became the most successful shoe line in sports history. How Nike became a religion. In the 1990s, Nike wasn't just selling shoes. It was selling emotion, power, self-belief. Just do it. 3 words that became a global mantra. Nike turned athletes into icons. Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods, LeBron James, Ronaldinho, Naomi Osaka. This wasn't advertising. It was culture. Nike shaped style. It created trends. It symbolized freedom, rebellion, ambition. The crisis no one talks about. Despite its success, Nike faced a dark moment in the 1990s. The company was accused of using cheap labor overseas. Protests spread globally. Media pressure grew. Sales dropped. Most companies would collapse under such scandal, but Nike did something rare. They admitted mistakes. They changed. Nike introduced labor standards, sustainability practices, factory inspections, a new ethical production model. A crisis became a push that made Nike a global example of responsible manufacturing. Today, Nike is a global power machine. Nike is no longer a brand, it's a universe. Today, Nike has market cap of $150 to $180+ billion, tens of billions in annual revenue, massive influence on music, sports, fashion, and culture, cult status among youth, dominance in basketball, running, football, and lifestyle. Nike shoes aren't products, they're symbols of victory. The lesson Nike teaches us: a company born in the trunk of a car, an idea people laughed at, a brand that nearly died multiple times, a founder who kept running when the world said stop. Nike teaches us belief beats obstacles. Risk is the path to victory. Innovation begins where others quit. Empires start with small, doubtful steps. Nike is proof that one crazy leap can rewrite the world. Final call to subscribe. If stories like this inspire you, if you love company breakdowns, success strategies, brand secrets, and business cases, subscribe to Brand Rise right now. We create stories that motivate, strategies that actually work, knowledge that brings growth. Hit subscribe and let's rise together. This was Brand Rise. See you in the next episode.